Heiskanen should get, for my money, more Norris votes this year than Cale Makar should. His two-way play has been exceptional. I know the point production isn't there, but I would say that Miro Heiskanen has been a better defender, all-around defenseman than Cale Makar has been this season.
The number 1 versus 8 matchup in the West, the Dallas Stars versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas Golden Knights, all they had to do was win, and they wouldn't even be here. And yet, they get Dallas because they couldn't beat Anaheim. Vegas, what do you even make of this team? They're going to get Mark Stone back. They have all of the LTIR nonsense. But are they any good? Can they beat the number 1 seed in the West? Because I'm not convinced. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think this Vegas team is anywhere near what it was last year.
I don't know if I can discount Vegas so readily. And it's similar to the conversation Eric had about the Avs in the Winnipeg series, that the Avs have guys who've been across the finish line.
For sure.
And you don't want to demerit what that value can bring to a team. And so I still feel similarly about Vegas in that, right? It reminds me a lot of Avs last year, to be honest. I think the idea of a cup hangover is very real. And the difference is I think Vegas will be going into the playoffs healthier than the Avs were. And that's why
it's a low bar.
That's why I think that Vegas stands a better chance than the Avs did in the Seattle series. And, there's some of the silliness, like, what was it, lacerated spleen? That's real. That's a real thing.
Yeah, you're not faking that.
I'm not going to be critical of how things have unfolded in that way, but I think there was this sense of Vegas just needing to get to the playoffs and not worry too much about the regular season results. And I still have belief then in their systems, their depth, and the mental strength of the Vegas group. I'm pretty sure I have Dallas still coming out of this because Dallas is just one of the most complete teams on paper I've seen maybe since the 2022 Avs. So a lot on the Dallas side that I think is positive, but just wanted to say I'm not writing Vegas off so quickly from this series.
Again, I use that old cliche, like, you're the defending champ, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I used last year about the Avs too. And I can't count them out. I can't count guys that are clutch like Marchessault that have done it, that, he comes back with no hangover himself with 40 plus goals this year, which is amazing. He is a UFA, right? And, you play him with a little bit of piss and vinegar. And Jack Eichel, you got that legit number 1 center. Again, question mark will be in net again in my book. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I mean, I know Hayden Hill did it last year, but I have a hard time, and that's the old school in me, like, discarding, like, experience. And I think they went through something special last year. I think that they handled it this year at times pretty good and at times pretty bad. And they would go on those little slumps there as a team, and it was pretty ugly hockey to watch. You know what I mean? But there's some times where when they're rolling, it's kind of like the Avs. When they're rolling, and they have that belief in themselves that they can beat and they can play against anybody. So I just feel that this is where the edge is for me. And yes, Dallas has been outstanding. All the numbers are there. They've had a great regular season. I'm picking on character here. I'm picking on solely on character because of guys that I know. When I say character, guys that have done it versus guys that haven't done it. And that's where the difference lies for me in this one.
Look, does Vegas have the experience? Sure. I'm not convinced they have a goaltender that is going to play the best 2 months of his life again.
I know.
I'm not convinced they're going to shoot 12.5% through the entire playoffs this year. A lot of things broke their way last season. And I think Dallas is just a better hockey team, to be frank with you on this one. You have a weirdly not high-end production out of Dallas.
That surprises me, actually.
Yeah, and some of that is injury-related, like guys missing games and things like that. That's true of Vegas, too, though, of course. But when I look at these two lineups going directly against each other, sure, you believe in Jack Eichel. I'm not saying Mark Stone doesn't make them better, but there's always a little bit of inconsistency when you're getting a guy back hasn't played for a while. Is it switch right back on, or does it take him a little bit of time to get back into the rhythm? I don't know.
That's the word.
And I feel like Dallas is in the rhythm as a hockey team when they need to be this year. So, yes, I think Dallas has a question mark in net too. Jake Ottinger has had good stretches, but he has not been a great goalie. He is, in my opinion, pretty overrated as a goaltender in general by fan bases, still living off of a playoff series from 2 years ago.
That he lost.
But was awesome.
I love Ottinger.
Yeah.
This is the Ottinger couch.
But
I'm very pro Jake Ottinger for the record.
where I think personally Dallas has the advantage is in their X factor. Dallas has Miro Heiskanen.
I love Miro Heiskanen.
And in my opinion, we're seeing these two defensive of these teams cross paths, with Vegas is heading the wrong direction and Dallas is on the up. And that's where I think Dallas really starts to pull ahead for me. But I'll open it up to you guys and tell me where you think Dallas has the edge.
Everywhere.
Okay.
Good talk. Heiskanen should get, for my money, more Norris votes this year than Cale Makar should. His two-way play has been exceptional. I know the point production isn't there, but I would say that Miro Heiskanen has been a better defender, all-around defenseman than Cale Makar has been this season. So, good X Factor. Good call.
Sometimes lucky.
I did throw him a vote in my ballot for the NHL All-Star team for one of the best defensemen in the league.
There you go.
And I think that is just one small strength of what Dallas has in spades. And I think that it's the depth of the forward group. It's pretty competitive, lines 1 through 4.
It is.
And the goaltending, I think, is still a strength over the unknown that is in Vegas at the moment. But the unknown for Dallas is the experience. And Eric talking about Vegas having the experience, that is where Andre has not really had a successful postseason.
True.
Robertson also hasn't really had a successful postseason. I really think that they have some leaders in the group like Pavelski to help add some of the experience back, but that is what cost them last year. And so that is what's going to need to be different for them this year. And hopefully that experience last year is going to be valuable for Dallas to come out of this stronger because they're so complete on paper.
I agree.
I don't believe they have a Heiskanen, Vegas, but I'll take their decor any day. I for years now, even this year, when they're all healthy, and I know Martinez is gone.
I really like Dallas's decor, but
but
Vegas
see, I'm
is great.
And again, we're lucky here with Colorado, and I always say the Avs decor, it's special and everything, but for a few years now, I've been saying Vegas is my favorite decor. You know what I mean? And without being biased, and now you got Martinez gone, then they go and get Hannafin, and so it's a very comparable. Just to make it look like the same when White Cloud's healthy and Haig is healthy. I love their decor. And I think, I talked about Marshall earlier and Eichel, but those 6 guys back there were a force last year. And I'll take their decor against anybody right now, including the Avs too. For me, they're my favorite decor in the National Hockey League. And what'd you say earlier? Defense wins championships, So that's where I just like their team there.
Wouldn't go that far, but I did pick Alex Pietrangelo as my X factor for them.
Yeah,
so I do think their decor could be the difference for a team that, again, I think they're going to need better defense than they did last year because I don't think they're going to get what they got out of their goaltending.
Yeah.
But we can get to our predictions. I really think we might be overcomplicating what is a 1 versus 8 matchup. I'm more tempted to believe in AJ than I am Eric.
Stinks.
You two have it in 7. What makes it close?
The experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Vegas kind of becomes a different beast in the playoffs than they are even in the regular season. And not just because players miraculously become healthy.
Must be nice.
No, but genuinely, I think that we're going to see better from Vegas than we've seen all year. I still think Dallas has the edge, but I don't think they're going to go down easily.
And it's special in Vegas. I mean, anybody that's been there, especially playoff hockey, they fell in love with that first year there, and they've had a pretty good record since, right? I mean, I know there was a couple of seasons where, didn't make the playoffs or whatever it is, but overall, like they've had some decent runs, and it is a tough place to go in. People rally behind the table. There's a ruckus and loud building, and I think the players enjoy it. You know, they enjoy the pressure to win, and because it's so fun. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm not saying Dallas is not good. I don't like Dallas, but they're really good. I told you for years, like it goes to the late 90s when they were so good, and then Modano's and everything. I just developed some hatred for them, and it's like me picking the Red Wings. I can't do it, So Dallas is a close second, and I have nothing against the Dallas Stars. But
You talked me into it. I'd like to change my prediction.
yeah, see, AJ's the reason one.
I'll take yours. You can take his.
Yeah, to 4-2. Vegas gets one more win, and they're out.
So I'm just saying, and I
Touching
know.
on the
Listen,
hatred.
Dallas is a great team. I'm not debating that. Maybe there's hope in my predictions, so we'll leave it at that. Maybe it's just hope,
That's all predictions are. Just a guess.
Eric appealing to the hate in my heart is a cold-blooded move, sir.
Not only that, I'd like for them to be out of the way, Dallas, because
I want them to beat up on each
that's
other.
right. And then
Yep.
Dallas is
True.
and Vegas is. It's been a long year, and the Cup and short summer, and sometimes you run out of gas. You run out of gas in the second round, third round, whatever. The Avs could potentially. It would be second round, right?
If Jamie Benn wants to suspend himself for the second round,
no problem.
I'm here for it.
So we'll see.
I'm big on the Stars because, one, I think that they are the best team in the NHL.
Oof, I'm taking Florida, but
And
the Stars are close.
Number two is that I think they've got really big one for the Gipper energy this year.
For Pavs, yeah.
I mean, they've got Pavelski, they've got Ben, they've got Suter. All these guys have 1,000 games played and no Stanley Cups. That could easily work against them because it's like, hey, how come you guys keep playing so many games and you can't win? But I think that their mixture between that kind of experience, but they're impactful youth players. Thomas Harley, what a big breakout for him. Wyatt Johnston with a 30-goal season. I wouldn't stop talking about this guy last year, and he just got better. So
Stankoven.
This whole roster, Logan Stankoven, if he plays in the postseason for them, that's skill infusion. And then you have a guy like Mason Marchment that he's a really good version of Miles Wood. So, I up and down their lineup, they've got guys that fill roles. They've got physicality, they've got speed, they've got skill. I don't look at any one area of their roster and say, I'm really uncomfortable with this. Yeah, Jake Ottinger hasn't been great this year, but I think the team around him is so good, and they've got kind of they took the end of the year seriously. They dominated when they needed to at the end of the season, and were the uptick in their play. I'm buying everything about the Dallas Stars right now. So naturally, Vegas will sweep them. And
Well, we only know what happens when we watch the games. So we'll have to go and do that. Put your hateful predictions down in the comments and go watch the rest of this playlist for all series previews.
really hateful predictions.
Really let the hate out on these ones.
Just let it. Not at me for once, but at the teams. Yeah, let them have it.
That's it for this one. Go watch our Avs one if you haven't yet for the big prediction for DNVR. We'll talk to you in the next video.
We all silly like the mayor.